Welcome to this introduction to the InquiryTrak Form Designer. InquiryTrak specialists will make changes to the InquiryTrak forms for you. It's a free service. But if you choose to make form changes yourself, InquiryTrak allows an administrator to tailor the look and feel of the screens so that they will reflect your activities and serve your data collection needs. With InquiryTrak's form designers, an administrator can make changes to the inquiry form and to the inquiry search form. What can you change on these forms? Using the form designer, you may add fields to each form section, as well as designate what type of field would best meet your information needs. In each section, you also have a chance to delete, with caution, fields that you've determined you will not use. You may also reposition the fields within each section for better usability. And if you'd like to change the label on any of the fields, delete the field and recreate it with a new name. We've mentioned that you can decide what type of field you'd like to create. On the inquiry form shown here, you can see examples of the types of fields available. In the requester section, the first name and last name are examples of the standard text field. In the inquiry section, the field description is an example of a large text field. The third type of field available is a drop-down list. Department is a good example. The user makes one choice from a list to enter into the form. The program also provides a multi-select drop-down list, but if you would like to provide a way to choose more than one item in a list, we suggest that you consider the checkboxes. Language is a good example. The user may choose as many items from this list as he wishes. For simple single item choices, another option is the radio button. An example of this is experimental species. Radio buttons are good for yes/no and true/false entries. Moving to the activity log, date due is an example of a date field. The user receives a pop-up calendar for date field from which to choose the date to enter. We have two examples of the file attachment type of field, file attachment and results. The user can attach any type of electronic file or object with this type of field. Finally, if you plan to make numerical calculations, you might want to consider number fields. Our examples here are cost and hours. As you decide how to change your screens, take into account the type of field you might want to create. Now let's see how these changes can be made. Let's say that you've looked over the screens in InquiryTrak and you'd like to add a new field called Preferred Delivery. You've decided it will be a drop-down box. Single select. Under the Form Designer tab, you'll find two interactive and interconnected designers, the Inquiry Form Designer and the Inquiry Search Form Designer. Always start with the Inquiry Form Designer. Changes made here will automatically be reflected in the Submit a Request form and in the Inquiry Search Form Designer. Where would you add this new field? Three sections of the form describe the requester, the inquiry, and the activity related to the request. You'd like your requesters to specify how the information should be delivered, so add it in the Inquiry section. Now that you've added the field, you may also reposition it within the form section. Also note that fields with the small lock icon are locked fields which cannot be deleted or repositioned. If you make a mistake, delete the new field and start the add process again. To see where the changes have been made, click on the Inquiries tab and then on New. This brings up the Submit a Request form, which both requesters and staff see. The field is placed correctly in the form. Now when you click on Inquiry Search Form from the Form Designer tab, you're ready to tailor InquiryTrak's searching capabilities. On the left, you see all the fields that can already be searched. Simply click on the new field from the list on the right to add it to the searching screen. To see where the change has been made, click on the Inquiries tab again. This brings up the Inquiry Search screen. The field is now one of the fields that can be searched. Although it's easy to make form changes with the form designers, don't forget that InquiryTrak specialists will make any changes you wish for free. In InquiryTrak, just click on the Support tab and choose Support Request for Form Design to send us your request. If you need more substantial changes to customize InquiryTrak, or would like to have the software installed on your own computers, contact us directly for more information about options and fees for custom design. Thank you for your interest in InquiryTrak.